Hello everyone. Welcome to RES Indica, India's only design-based learning portal for the civil services aspirant. Desh Badla Padhai Badla. In this particular edition, we will be discussing the news analysis of 6th of June 2023. Here I have tried to collate important articles and editorials from the Hindu and Indian Express, and I've tried to express them in the form of mind maps. We are going to discuss about some world updates. Then we are going to talk about some railway updates, then something on Higgs Boson, which has doing the round for quite some time, some economics news, and then dealing with deepfakes. I have also attached for your reference the newspaper pages from where I have taken these particular articles. This you can use for your own perusal. Okay, now coming on to the mind maps, let us talk about the first news as hand, which is some world updates. First of all, the first update is Germany is keen on submarine technology cooperation with India, says Pistorius. We very well know that India is trying to develop its submarine technology, and we have many programs for that, which you should know. You should also try to know about all the classes of submarine which the India is developing under Project 75 and such kind of projects. Navy is looking to procure 6 advanced diesel-electric submarines under Project 75. This is a deal which is yet to move forward due to various technical parameters, which means we are facing some technical parameters in this particular deal. Germany and India, they share some common values and common interests, which are rule-based international order, multilateralism, and open sea lines of communication. You all must be very well knowing that the group of 4 who are aspiring to become permanent members of the United Nations Security Council comprises of both India and Germany. Got the point? Now, the other world news update is India and USA, they have finalized the roadmap for defense industrial cooperation. What will this do? This will guide the policy direction for the next few years towards cooperation in the high technology areas. They have also discussed some regional security issues, which contains shared interest, maintaining peace in the Indo-Pacific region, and maintaining stability in the Indo-Pacific region. As of now, Indo-US relations have been strengthened in the past few years. The US PASCOM has been renamed as Indo-Pacific, which shows the importance of India in the Indian Ocean region. Basically, this particular initiative will help in identifying the opportunities for cooperation and co-production. One more world news update. Draft of cybersecurity agreement is outlined for the G20 countries. You all must be knowing India is heading the G20 meeting in 2023. I would like to ask you one question which every one of you should reply in the comment section. What do you mean by G20 Troika? Okay, now moving forward. If this particular cyber project is adopted, G20 will commit to these 3 things. The first is not damage to critical infrastructure of our essential system, protect and not disrupt software supply chain, and respect international law and the rule in the cyberspace. With respect to cyberspace, you all must be knowing about the Budapest Convention, which is the only legally binding convention in the field of cyberspace, and India is not a part of it. Okay, moving on to the next news article, some railway updates. You all must be knowing about the Balasore train accident. These particular updates are with respect to that particular news only. Now, first of all, we are going to talk about the tragic track, because these non-maintenance of track is the reason for accidents. What is needed? Corrective measures by the railway at the operational and the planning level. For this, they need to find more resources to modernize and rationalize its priorities. What are the problem of railways? First of all, poor maintenance of track, rolling stocks, and overstretched and overworked staff. For this, we need to put in safety measures like anti-collision systems, but still they are not adequate, and only few thousand kilometers of railway line have been brought under Kavach. Now, faulty signaling system and dangerous human intervention. This same appears in the preliminary inquiry of the Balasore accident, which means that the faulty signaling system, lack of trained manpower seems to be the reason. Railways to secure signaling equipments with double locks. What is this news? Month-long safety drive to be launched to ensure cabins with house such equipments. You have to ensure that an SMS alert is generated upon opening or closing of the relay room. And this will have access to the basically lock access system. In this way, we can strengthen our signaling system at least. And in the long term, we can work upon the track management. Coming on to the next news article. This talks about Higgs boson, which we all famously call as God particle. What is this? See, the decade-long search for a rare Higgs boson decay continues. What is a Higgs boson? It is a type of a boson, a force-carrying subatomic particle. We all know atomic particles, they are electron, proton, and neutron. We also have some subatomic particles such as neutrino, protino, muons. Out of this, we have one which is Higgs boson. Okay. What is the result of the study? Basically, this LHC stands for Large Hadron Collider. And this Large Hadron Collider is present in Europe and at the CERN laboratory. And the physicists, they are working in this particular Large Hadron Collider to know about the Higgs boson. See, LHC, which means Large Hadron Collider, creates a Higgs boson by accelerating billions of highly energetic protons into a head-on collision. In simple words, we have basically a kind of a chamber where protons are moved at the speed of light and they are made to collide. And when this collision occurs, Higgs boson is generated. This releases a tremendous amount of energy that condenses into different particles. As it is a heavy particle, this Higgs boson is unstable and decays into lighter particle. So what we come to know that Higgs boson is a heavy particle and it decays into lighter particle. Now, see here, what the CERN has reported. They have reported that they have detected a Higgs boson decaying into a J boson particle and a photon. As we have seen earlier, as Higgs boson is a heavier particle, it breaks down into smaller ones. What are the implications of this particular research? First of all, two detectors that announced new measures called Atlas and CMS. They had locked for and found decay before as well in 2018 and 2020 as well. Okay. Coming on to the conclusion part. First of all, let us see what are the implications, or let us know something more about Higgs boson. Basically, it carries force that a particle experiences when it moves towards a highly energetic electrical field. Got the point? And this is believed to be present throughout the universe. The stronger the particle's interaction with the Higgs boson, the greater the mass it has. There are some conclusions. The conclusion are, standard model has made many accurate predictions, but it can't explain why dark matter or Higgs boson is so heavy. According to the standard model, there are some atomic particles which are yet to be discovered. And as and when they get discovered, this model again proves its legitimacy. But it has failed to explain why the dark matter and the Higgs boson are heavier. Coming on to some economic news. First of all, again, services PMI. PMI stands for Purchasing Manager Index. Purchasing Manager Index. And services PMI signals sustained growth pace. Now, Standard & Poor Global India Services PMI Business Activity Index, this has shown that the service sector output grew at the second fastest pace in 13 years in May. And this has eased to, means decreased to 61.2% from 62 in April. There are some persisting challenges which demand resilience, output growth, and inflationary pressures. The firms, they have reported a surge in cost of inputs, food transportation, and wage cost. Therefore, there has been such a decline. Now, eye on oil. What is the news? First of all, OPEC plus. OPEC plus means the nation which comprises of the OPEC nation plus some other nations. They have agreed to extend the ongoing production cuts into 2024 as well, as these will keep the prices from falling further. Why this has been done? Amid concerns from the global economic slowdown. Okay. Now, Saudi Arabia has also voluntarily vowed to reduce the output by extra 1 million barrels per day. Again, reduction in supply. And this will be sending international oil future contracts into higher. You must be knowing that contract is basically a derivative instrument in which oil prices decided. What is the impact on India? First of all, India imports more than 80% of the oil, and therefore Indian economy will be impacted to a large degree. There have been demands going on for bringing the oil under the ambit of GST so as to help rationalize the fuel prices. Because as of now, different states, they apply different VAT, and again, which leads to increase in the prices of fuel in different states. What the point? Although India has increased the purchase of crude oil from Russia and buffered its stock, still we require oil from the Middle East. As of the last week's close, average monthly price of India's crude oil basket has declined by 38%. Pump prices of petrol and diesel have remained unchanged for this particular significant time period. Okay, moving on to the last news, we will talk about deep fakes. First of all, why news? Wrestlers protesting peacefully in New Delhi were arrested and boarded in a way to keep them from disrupting the inauguration of parliament, which took place on 28th of May. After that, a photo appeared to show 4 of the wrestlers. They have posted a video where they were smiling. Later, it emerged that the photo had been morphed and was not a deep fake. Now, what actually a deep fake is? Basically, deep fake is a significant upgrade from photoshopping images as it transcends limits on human skill. It is produced by a machine using deep learning and which contains false information, distorts easily, and attempts to persuade us that something false is true. Some other similar technologies which works on this particular principles are ChatGPT and solar geoengineering. What are the incidents where the deepfakes were used? Some are negative, some are positive. The positive connotation are comedy, cinema, music, and gaming. Lekin some negative aspects are over there. For example, video of Barack Obama verbally abusing Donald Trump, hack facial algorithm software, manufacturing revenge porn. There are some redeemable technologies which are, despite its potential to rupture the social fabric, deep learning is entirely redeemable. What actually is needed legally? Basically, to protect against the manipulation of hyper-realistic digital representation, we need some fundamental moral rights in this age of deepfakes. At the individual level, we have to become more responsible scientifically, publicly, and digitally. This is it for today. We will meet another day with more news analysis. Thank you very much.